In this tutorial in CyberLink PowerDirector, we're going to look at a specific template in your title designer. It's a template designed for news. So what I'm going to do first of all is take my timeline and here I have, let's click on the clip here so we can see it. I have a familiar clip I've used several times, two guys in the garage. And I'd like to add a news crawl at the bottom third. So in order to do this, I go to my title room. I can click on F7 if I'd like. And then I have the all content. What I'd like to do now is click on the down arrow, drag down to the category called News, which is part of what I have in my version of CyberLink PowerDirector 15. And in the news category, I have two crawls. You see one of them here. I'm going to take it and drag it down and put it in a lower track so I can see it. We'll make it a little bit longer here. Okay, so it doesn't matter where I have my playhead. This is what it will look like. Now, when I go to edit it, there's some things I can change and some things I cannot. So let me summarize that for you as we go into our title designer. Now, in the title designer, we find how they've created it. Everything is locked down except for the text. So I have actually 5 different tracks, 4 of which are text. Track number 1 is particle. Track number 2 says add your title here, and that's my large section. Now what I can do is I can change that one a little bit if I want. It's set to slide left and it's Arial 20 font. Now in order to fit in the graphic, I probably don't want to change the font, but I can change the color. It's a gray right now, so I'll change it just to a yellow to show you you can change it if you want and customize it and actually save it as another template. So there's one change. If I go down to track number 3, just scroll down, track number 3 is my crawl, and I can make this as long as I want to. You often see this like with school closings here in the Midwest in a blizzard. Track number 3 is set to scroll right, and it happens to be Arial 9 point. The next one down that I find that I can click on either up in my preview or here is track number 4. Track number 4 is sliding left, Arial 9. And the last one I can select is track number 5. Track number 5 is slide right, Arial 8 point font. So what I'm going to do is pause this, and then we'll go ahead and make some changes and show you what this would look like. Here is an example of the unmodified default titler and what you see there. Let me show you what happened when I changed some parts of it in terms of letters, which is all it will let you change, either the location or the font or the color. I'm going to back up over my original and look at, here is my modified one. And I will click on the preview area. You notice something kind of odd here. I changed the fonts in this part, and I changed the color here, but notice the scroll. The default scroll is set to scroll left to right. And that's how we read in English. You really want it to be right to left. So I found it rather odd that they had it set up for left to right. How would you change that? Well, that is one other thing you can change. So I'm going to click on that modified one with my new text. Press the F2 key to get into the edit mode. That will get into the title designer. Then I'm going to go ahead and click on this. That gets me into track number 3. Then I'll click on the effect, and we'll be in starting effect. And it is set to scroll right. I'm going to change that to scroll left. Click on OK. And then when I go ahead and play my modified title, let's see what happens. Now it's reading in a way that I can follow, even though I've got some misspellings. And that's another thing you have to be careful. You can't see very easily what you're typing when you have all this text. But if you're careful, you can add scrolling text. Let me look at a couple other things here. I don't know if I want to keep advertising Cyberlink every time I do something, but there's no way for me to change the graphics, at least not that I've found yet. But it shows the potential of this. I wish they gave you some tools with which you could construct your own that would look like this, where you can change everything involved. But to this point, I haven't discovered how to do that. But if you'd like to take it as it is, except for the direction of the scroll, you can take it and modify it in your projects.